So this is Florence Nightingale, and I want to talk about Florence Nightingale in the context of contribution and consumption. See, Jerry got it right. Um, Her life is very interesting to me, and I've been learning a little bit more about it over the last week or so. And she was born in 1820 in Florence. That's where her name comes from. So Tuscany, Italy. That's where
Mhm.
she was born. And she was born to what we could probably call an aristocrat family, very well connected, very well to do, and was born into what many of us today would call privilege. She had a very privileged environment. Her family moved back to England in 1821, shortly after she was born, and I won't go into too much of the specifics regarding her life, but one of the things that I found most interesting about her life is she had an internal battle for many years, and it could be boiled down to this consumption or contribution concept because there was tremendous pressure and tremendous ease to stay where she was and partake of the fruits of her environment and privilege. She could have stayed an aristocrat, if you will,
Mhm.
forever until the day that she died.
Just living
She
on her estate, right,
just
Junior?
living on her estate.
Yeah.
And she had the opportunity or inclination toward medicine in some regard early on, but she put it off. And she felt called to move into medicine over time, but didn't. For a period of 16 years, I came to find out.
I didn't
Had
know that.
Yeah, and that's one of the most interesting things that I've learned about Florence Nightingale is there the environment had real pressure on her. And I will never pretend to understand her exact situation. I don't know all of the information, but the story was interesting to me because there was some delay. And after years, she really decided to get in the game, if you will, to put her boots on, another phrase, and get out there and contribute. So, the end of the story is that she is really the mother of modern nursing. And a lot of the systems in healthcare and triage processes that we go through,
Yeah.
even to this day, are attributable in large measure to her. Not all, but much. And she dealt with some of the consequences of going out there and contributing for the rest of her life. She experienced really bad fever and experienced effects from that for the rest of her life when she was helping in the Crimean War.
Mhm.
And it was such a stark example to be learning about this week against the backdrop of the LinkedIn conversation that was happening simultaneously. Is it was a very clear example to me of someone who said, you know what, my life, I want it to be known for contribution. And there's some risk in doing this. I'm moving into darkness. I'm moving into a place that I don't really understand. I'm moving away from the social nest that's been insulated, that has given me distance from some of the problems in the world. Something like 80% more men were casualties of disease than actual battle wounds during this time. And so she went into some environments that we can scarcely imagine. If you can think of what the barracks must have been like in the mid 19th century,
Yeah.
not a fun place to be. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was an interesting story, something that I learned this week that really hit me. This woman gave up a lot to go and contribute. And I think it's fair to say that her life and service was a net positive.